Assalamu alaikum, hello and welcome to my show Connecting with Saima Parwaz. I hope all of you are doing great and waiting to see my today's guest. So today we will not talk about the houses, maybe the few stuff about the economy, how the economy is doing. I'm here with a very beautiful young lady, Stepfanie, and she's my good friend. We have met through one of our real estate class. She's a very successful realtor, and we decided to do a show together. Welcome to my show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So, are you excited too?
I'm excited.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So, how was your commute? You live in downtown, right?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. A little bit of traffic, but not too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we know each other from 4 years almost.
Yeah,
right?
for a good bit now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, we connected for the good cause, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. So how's everything? How's society? How's market? And
everything is good on my end. Yeah, real estate's doing well.
yeah, it's doing good, right?
Yeah.
It's suddenly like I think it's getting better.
Yeah,
Right?
I think it's picking up a little bit more now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Thank you so much to give me some time today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah. All right. So what we are going to discuss today, I think we're going to discuss about the economy, how the economy is affecting for the last few years on relationships and marriages, right?
Absolutely,
Because we
yeah.
have seen so many marriages are breaking because of
The economy, really.
Economy,
and
right?
Yeah, because when you think about it, one of the reasons why a lot of divorce happens is because of financial situations, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think because of the economy, and hasn't been doing well in the last few years. I think it's put a lot of pressure
so
on
much pressure,
relationships.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Money pressure, and then society pressure, like so many things are,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna, guys, we're gonna discuss today about how the marriage, how we can make a marriage successful. Some tools we're gonna give with the help of Stepfanie, and as all of us are smart, we know how the marriages or relationships can be better, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I'm gonna start with the woman, right? Like I'm seeing here, there, I'm getting calls from the parents, their daughters,
Yeah.
mostly daughters, they don't want to marry.
Yeah.
Right? What is give me just one good reason.
I think one of the reasons why women nowadays don't want to marry is just simply we've become a lot more independent. We are not only paying all of the bills by ourselves, but we're cooking, we're cleaning, we're taking care of the kids. We, book all the appointments, we make sure everything gets done. And so we're kind of at a point now where
We're doing everything.
We're kind of doing everything,
Yeah.
and unless you're going to emotionally support us or help us financially, it's kind of bad to say, but it's like, what are you going to put on the table for us kind of thing? Because we're taking care of everything already.
Yes.
So unless you're going to be emotional support for us, I mean, we kind of have our friends for that too, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and I think also nowadays, because of the economy is not doing well, I think women, especially with social media as well, we've had this like boss babe era where women now want to open up our own businesses, we want to be bosses, we want to take in charge, and we're more tapped into our masculine energy now where, we're almost to a point where it's like we don't really need men other than to produce, kind of. Yeah.
And everyone has like so many options because of social media, probably, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think
And the patience, like people, like one of the reasons the marriages are not getting successful because people have no
there's
patience.
no patience anymore, and I think a lot of that has to do with social media and the easy access that we have. Everybody has easy access to each other now because of social media, because of Instagram, Facebook, Snap, TikTok. You don't even, back in the day, to get a hold of somebody, you needed to call them.
Yeah, there was just one landline.
Exactly. And now, all you have to do is slide into someone's DM. And now, you say you post a selfie and you get 100 likes or 100 comments. Now you think that I don't need to work on my relationship anymore because I have a lot of options.
Yeah.
And people are not patient anymore because why would you work on something when you think the grass is greener on the other side. Because look at all these people that like me, that, you know, you think that you have all these options, when it's like you should really just work on what you have, right? But it doesn't always work that way.
What is a perfect man and a woman? Like, is there, do they exist really?
I don't think perfect doesn't exist in men and women. I don't think anything is perfect in life. But I think compromising. Can you compromise in a relationship and meet that person in the middle, right? And I think nowadays women have higher standards when it comes to dating. I think women are looking not for the perfect man, but they're looking for somebody who's stable, who has a good career, who makes a decent amount, who has their life kind of put together, who has ambition and drive. And I find nowadays, not all men, but some men don't have that ambition anymore, and they don't have that drive. And so they are a little bit more feminine, which is fine. Like, I think men should be feminine and masculine, but at the same time,
Because they have to take care of some house chores too,
yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Taking care of the kids, house chores.
Yeah,
right?
meet in the middle, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Same like a woman. Like woman, if woman is doing everything, like they're going out, they're going doing their
yeah,
taking
if
care
we're
of their careers, right?
paying the bills and making sure our house is good and our kids are good, I mean,
So, yeah, why not them?
then we're good, right? So yeah.
All right. And one thing about the traditional woman, where did they disappear?
I don't know if they have fully disappeared.
Oh, they are still there. We have to find them,
Yeah,
right?
I think so. Yeah,
We have to find them. They are busy focusing on their careers, but also
I think that's what
right?
it is. They have transitioned into more independent women now, and I think we're like definitely focused more on our careers more than ever. I think we have a lot more drive now to build something from scratch, and yeah.
Yeah. And the women, today's women, they are on a, doing a very, very high level jobs, right? They are
Yep.
CEOs, they are like even the prime ministers.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. I think because we're in these higher positions, our standards are now higher.
Yeah. So, Stephanie, I know we got our license together a few years back, like 4 or 5 years back, right?
Yep.
Yeah. But before, you were born and raised in Toronto.
Yes.
Right? And what do you have studied before?
So study-wise, before real estate, I actually went to school for aesthetics to become a skin therapist.
Yeah, nice.
So I've worked at a couple spas throughout the GTA, and I love that industry. Real estate, of course, and yeah.
So we were talking before program, before recording, what makes relationships and marriages successful, right? Or how we can make them better.
Yeah.
Right. So one of the things probably trust.
Trust for sure, but I think a lot of it too is patience. I think that when you're young, you go through a lot of different experiences, and you develop a lot of different traumas, if you'll call them.
Everyone has some childhood trauma.
Everybody has different red flags, is really what it is. A lot of people have green flags, but everyone also has red flags. And I think until you can take that time to really acknowledge your own red flags, if you will, and really try to heal from those, you have to make sure that your partner is willing to be patient, while you heal. And also, can you be patient while your partner is healing from their traumas from childhood or how they perceive the world, and absolutely trust. And
the partners need to speak more, right? They need to
communication.
Yeah.
I think,
husband, wife, they need to communicate more, right?
Yeah, I think a lot of people have different communication styles, and I think a lot of the times people, I think I'm also guilty of it. I'm quiet. I don't always express how I feel, and I think...
And men are also quiet.
Men are
right?
definitely like that too. They don't... I think they were also raised not to express how they feel. And so when something's bugging them, they don't know how to communicate it. They don't know how to express their feelings. And so either it turns into resentment, or they feel detached from their partner because they don't know how to express themselves, right?
And also one thing I always think, like parents, they teach their kids how to study, how to become a doctor, how to become an engineer, how to focus on your careers, but nobody teaches them how to make marriage successful.
Yeah, well, I think goes hand in hand with emotional intelligence, right? Your parents don't, again, not all, but you go to school to learn math and science and, how to pick the right job and stuff like that. But no one really sits down and talks to you about emotional intelligence and how to communicate properly and how to express yourself when you're feeling down. Or, if you're upset, what do you do? What do you do? Or do you just yell at the other person? Or do you sit down and say, you know what, I'm hurt right now. Maybe you need to take a minute to step out and cool down before you talk to your partner. I don't think a lot of people, or I don't think a lot of parents sit down with their kids and say, hey, when you're feeling this emotion, let's find tools to figure out how to deal with it. I think that's really important, right? Because you have to self-regulate as well, because if you don't self-regulate and you're putting all of that on your other partner to deal with, I mean, that's too much pressure for your partner to maintain the relationship.
So it's some more mutual, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And understanding, mutual understanding, you can say. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So raising children when people are in a marriage, right?
Yes.
So how are we going to discuss
affect?
how they affect on the marriages, right? That marriage can long lasting
Absolutely.
when they have a kids, right?
I think a couple factors. First, I think the first 3 years of your child's life is going to probably put the most pressure on your marriage, because they're so young and you're so used to putting all of your energy into your work or your friends or your family or your partner, and now you have to include this newborn or your child now into the relationship. And so now you're putting all of your energy into your kid, and sometimes it kind of takes a toll on your marriage. Maybe you don't go on date night as much, maybe you don't you're just so tired.
Don't spend time with each other, right?
You don't spend quality time with your partner anymore because you're so worried about
under pressure, kids.
Absolutely.
Maybe in early years of the marriage, the financials, mostly people, they don't have good finances too, right?
Absolutely. And then raising a kid is also expensive. So I think, the financial aspect of raising a child, I think also, a baby especially needs so much attention, right? And you're also sleep deprived. You're waking up every 3 hours. Like, it's going to take a toll on your marriage. And, going back to patience, what we spoke about, when you've had 3 hours of sleep, patience runs very thin, right? And especially also, if one person is working full time and say the mom is home taking care of the child, which is usually what happens in the first year of maternity leave, the mom sometimes feels exhausted, and maybe the father feels like because they're working full time that they don't have to pay attention to the child, or maybe the roles are not equal, right? And maybe one person is taking care of the newborn more than the other, or there's so many factors.
Nowadays, many people, they're just living like a couple, they're living by themselves, but some of them I still see in my culture, in Indian and different cultures, right? People are still living with their in-laws.
Yeah.
Are they affecting on their marriages?
I think there are pros and cons to having your in-laws living with you. I think, it's great help. I think anybody who has kids understands that it takes a village to raise children. So, it definitely gives you that extra hand when it comes to kids or pickups, or, maybe you can't make it to pick up your child, then the in-law can pick them up from school.
Yeah. So there's a help too, right?
So there's definitely help in that
Some
sense.
privacy, maybe they have to sacrifice their privacy.
Yeah, so that would be, I would consider a con in that sense, where, the privacy, if your in-laws are living with you, you don't really have that much privacy with your partner. And so you might have to maybe you have to go out a little bit more, or,
But there are also the benefits on the side, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
It really does take a village to raise children, and also, I think it's...
And in this economy, we can save some money, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, many young kids I'm seeing, they are living with their parents, they move back with their parents.
Absolutely.
Yes, yeah.
But I think also, at least for me, I love that my daughter's so close to my family, because I want her to know that not only is she loved from both sides, but I wanted to get to know her grandmother and her grandfather and her uncle and her auntie. Like, I love the fact that she's just so close to them that it's like one nice big family. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Are you enjoying today's talk?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's fun, eh?
Yeah.
And I'm discussing like a different topic, and I'm also extra a little bit excited.
Yeah.
Hi friends, I'm hoping you guys are enjoying my today's show. We are discussing a little bit different topic today, but you guys know I always discuss current affairs. So this is a very common discussion. I'm getting questions from the different people. So that's why the purpose to bring this program is to resolve some of the today's issues. And we are going for a small break, and I will see you soon. Hi guys, so I'm here with Stepfanie, and Stepfanie, you're enjoying?
Yeah, absolutely.
I can see, yeah. So we were talking before how the cultures, right, they are affecting our marriages and relationships. They used to, right?
I think it used to impact more back in the day, but I think it also depends on where you live.
Yeah.
I
How you
think,
grew up. Yeah.
absolutely. I
Yeah.
think living in the Western society, I don't think it impacts it
So
as
much.
much. I think also because we're so diverse, especially in Toronto, there's so many different cultures, and you're exposed to so much that
Everyone know
I
each other culture, right? Most of the
yeah,
time,
I
right?
think we're a lot more
Yeah.
diverse.
And mostly the language is a barrier, right? But here, so everyone is speaking almost the same
Yeah.
language, right?
Right, English is definitely the
First
first
language.
language, so I think like I don't think it impacts it as much as it used to. Yeah.
Yeah. And one we were discussing this before, the finances, right? How much the man should be financially stable in order to make their relationship and marriage successful.
I think
In today's world, even the woman and men, they are equal, right?
yeah, I was gonna say I don't think the man, unless that is a role that he wants to play, I don't think a man needs to pay for every single thing. Especially in this economy, it's kind of difficult to have one person.
So one income is not enough.
Yeah, I think one income is not enough, especially
In this
especially with
economy.
what's going on in the economy right
Yeah.
now. I think you definitely need to have two, even three incomes sometimes. I think nowadays you see it with a lot of single individuals. You know, a lot of people have more than two jobs.
Yeah.
Just to pay for basic needs, right?
If they are living by themselves, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And so I think when you live with a partner, you know,
Or parents.
it helps financially that you have that extra support. But I think, especially nowadays, like both people need to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. It's a basic need actually.
Yeah, unless you have a partner who does have that extra income where they're able to kind of take care of everything, and it's not too much stress on them where it impacts the marriage or the relationship, then go for it. But I think with just, you know, the middle class, I think definitely 2, 3 incomes.
They're struggling more, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's why women don't want to get married nowadays, because
They
we
are
are
stable. They are already stable.
Yeah, we're so not only stable, but I think we're so focused on our careers and building something for ourselves, and just taking care of everything, that marriage is kind of on the back burner right now.
Yeah. All right. So social media, right, is affecting on
Relationships.
the relationships, on everything, in
Absolutely.
careers, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, everyone is spending so much time on the social medias, right?
Absolutely.
There's good things and bad things about it, right?
Yeah, I think there's definitely pros and cons to social media, but I think when it comes to relationships, I think we're so distracted by our phones that we kind of forget to be present, especially when we're with our partner. A lot of the times we might be, say we're in the living room, but if both people are on their phones, I mean,
How are they gonna talk?
are you spending time
Yeah.
together? Sure, but are you spending quality time together? Probably not. Are you having that conversation with that person? Are you being intimate with that person? Or are you just kind of on your phone, just scrolling, right? And I think a lot of people don't think it's that bad, that you're like doom scrolling a little bit, but it does kind of affect the relationship sometimes, depending on how much you're on your
So
phone
social
as
media
well.
is one of the factor marriages are failing, I guess.
I think so. I think it's a huge distraction, and I think you forget to be present with your partner at the time. And I think also easy access with all the platforms that we have. People have easy access to everybody nowadays.
Yeah.
Right. So.
So when one person control other person, right? So that's also the one factor marriages are failing, right? So what do you say about it? That's definitely not a good thing to...
Controlling the other person is definitely not a good thing. I think when it comes to that, don't tell the other person what to do or what not to do. Yeah. I think just
Everyone is
observe.
smart, yeah.
Observe their actions and then go from there.
So any advice for the young couples?
I think the grass is not always greener on the other side. It's greener wherever you water it. And as cheesy as it sounds, but it's true. I think because of social media, we feel like we have a lot of options, and therefore we keep hopping and jumping to a new person, and we're not putting the effort.
Yeah.
You know, in any relationship, you have to compromise. You have to put the effort in.
Even friendship, even your parents,
absolutely,
even your
absolutely,
right?
family members. You have to put the effort in, or it's not going to work. Same with friends. If you don't make the effort to go see them, or even a quick phone call, I mean, the friendship dies. Sadly, not because any animosity or anything. It's just for the simple fact you didn't put the effort in, and I think that goes hand in hand when it comes to relationships. You have to put the effort in, and be patient with your partner, and don't always think that somebody's always going to be better for you. Unless it's really not working and you've tried it for many, many years, just put the extra effort in a little bit. And also communicate. If you don't like what's going on, communicate with your partner. Say, I don't appreciate this. Can we compromise? Can we find a common ground? I think a lot of people are scared to express themselves, and I think especially with women, you know, how many times has a female expressed a concern and then they get, you know, they've said, oh, women are needy, women are too emotional, because they're just simply expressing how they feel, right? So just don't be scared to communicate about, you know, what's going on and what you would like to improve, or what you like as well. Also, I think a lot of people complain a lot, and just small things like, you know, sending a quick text or letting your partner know, like, I really appreciate all the effort you're putting in. Those small little comments goes a long way.
Yeah.
You know, or a little, you know, a little hug.
And they work.
You know, like something small goes a long way. Yeah.
Right, Stephanie, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I really appreciate you joining me today, and we chit-chat about so many things. Okay? And I hope we're gonna do another episode soon.
Sounds good.
Thank you so much. So guys, we have discussed many things today with Stephanie about how to make our marriage and relationships successful. We have talked about a few things that are very important: patience, trust, communication, and yeah, these are few main things which we have to focus on. And take care of your families. And still, I always say in my most of the shows that do not let anyone to disturb your peace. Peace is most important in your life, which can make you or break you. So I'll see you in my next show. Thank you so much for watching, and see you soon. Bye.